Hi, I'm Richard Swartudo, and this is The Paper Eye. Today we're continuing our interviews with the famed underground artist Barbara Willy Mendes.
These are early underground comics. I met Trina Robbins, and she began the movement of all women underground comics, and this was the first. It Ain't Me, Babe, the first all women underground comic, and I had the back cover. Now, what's on the back cover? Baby, It's You. Of course, that's a song title. It's a Fake Life magazine cover. But, you know, I was 8 or 9 months pregnant when I did this. This is a test I put everybody on who comes. I go, you have to pick out Willy Mendes from the photo in the back, right? You'd be amazed at how few people get me. I mean, I'm the only...
But did Richard
Swartudo? You did, right?
That's right.
A black curly hair in an afro, big fat 9 month pregnant belly. And it says this beautiful quote from Laura Nyro, this amazing musician of my era. Little girl of all the daughters, you were born a woman, not a slave. Another all girls comic. This is the cover, it's all girl thrills, okay? On the back cover, and it says, I fly exclusively on the angelic airlines of the Grateful Dead. But they go like, they feel so good, they gave away the money. And then here's God, the black female God, and she says, the time has come to visit the earth again. And she goes, head for those vibrations of joy. See, because they're so happy.
Hey, be careful with my underground
Oh, I'm sorry.
There.
And there it is, greetings, beloved children. Now, this was the back cover of Insect Fear, and it only proves that I was with the boys in their comics on the back. And this was Ada. You see, this is a book by Nabokov. It's a book about, you know how familiar, he wrote Lolita, okay? Mm-hmm. So the book named Ada, it was about a woman who collected butterflies. And if you notice, it's a symmetrical name. It's sort of like a butterfly, and I read it. So I used, for Insect Fear, I used Ada, the character of the Nabokov character, who collected, and it says, some girls never experience insect fear, because this was the Ada. So that's the story about that.
I love that.
Well, as I mentioned before, I was privileged to be friends with Kim Deitch, who early got into the underground comics, and because of my contact with him, I began doing art for the Gothic Blimp Works. But this particular piece relates to what I was asked before about leaving New York. When we left the first time in '69, it's like leaving New York at last. But these were the days of Easy Rider, when Dennis Hopper and they got killed at the end of that movie for being hippies, right? So we're going to go in disguise, see? We're not going to be hippies like we are. So that shows us before and in disguise as straight people, because we were paranoid.
And by straight people, we mean normal.
What I never became. Gothic Blimp Works. It began with this one that we saw, the Gothic Blimp. My first husband, we were very young, and he bought me this ledger, and it's called Day. Probably in the olden times, people kept accounts in these day books. It's a ledger. Dates it to add to the New Yorker in May 31st, 1969. Now, here's when it gets good. We get to a point where it says, notice, turn to the back of the book. From here on, it's back to front. And they all do that, every single book. So this was the weekend of Woodstock. We were staying with Rick's parents in Irvington, New York. Rick was playing, his group was playing along with the Grateful Dead on an all-night New Year's Eve thing.
Great.
But he didn't come home. That's one reason. We'll talk about that later. So this is an amazing collection of personal visual journals. Out of 65, we can't do them now. So I'm going to give you some prime examples. First, I'll just hold and show you that some of them might get elaborate with colors. See? Now, okay. They're going to start getting crazy here. So these were my thoughts and my inspirations, and the paintings downstairs from the 80s were born from these images. And also there are 2 or 3 books from this period. And you could get the idea of how they just go on and on and on. And that's book 17. Oh, by the way, the paper eye. When you guys first came, I go, you're so significant that I made a page. And I'll do it again for today, commemorating Paper Eye's visit.
Thank you for that. Now, I wanted to end today with a very recent work you did. You're involved with the community here, and maybe some people out there, if they happen to make it to Southern California and Los Angeles, they can perhaps show up and pay you a visit one day and take a look at some of this beautiful art.
That's a great idea, Richard, because I live on South Robertson Boulevard. Get it? We call it SoRo. And because we have a cluster of galleries and cafes and really cool spots, that inspired me to make this map to highlight all the cool places. If you do come and you'll pick one of these maps up, you can see all these galleries. Of course, Ivan Gallery's on here, Barbara Mendes Gallery is on here, and it's the SoRo art map.
Very nice. You know, I have to say, it's been a great day visiting with you and seeing your process opening up a little bit. You know, we appreciate it. I hope everybody out there that has had an opportunity to view the videos with us, you get an opportunity to check her art out online. We have pieces of hers are currently posted at the IPI House Archive Shop.
And I'd also like to plug that you can find me at Facebook/Barbara Mendes Gallery or barbaramendes.org or Facebook/Ivan Art Gallery.
Or on the Paper
Or on
Eye.
the Paper Eye. Thank you, Paper Eye. Thank you.
Thanks. So tell me what I'm looking at.
Go into my glitter. As soon as it dries, I'll go up there and I'll put the glitter in. See?
Rockin'. Okay. I love it.
Glitter glows on the wall that I've already put there.
67 years old.
Amen, sister.
That's a wrap.